have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world. When you hit that play button, so glad you did. Of course, you have found the Genesis Frequency podcast, personal and professional development each and every week. No commercials and no guests, just diving in and sharing with you ways that I found to be very, very successful using the laws of the universe, the metaphysical laws that help us move from where we are to where we want to be. And I call that making a quantum leap, skipping a lot of the stuff in between that is unnecessary so we can quickly move from where we are now or where you don't want to be to where you want to be. The realization of your dream, your goal, your desire. And this is for individuals, small businesses, corporations, corporate goals, whatever. This is about radical transformation, personal and professionally. And we have been sharing quite a bit of information lately. Last few episodes have been about the metaphysics of manifestation. We wrapped that up last week talking about, hey, how do we actually do this? What is going on with the way we're wired? We talked about that. Today, we're moving forward. I just want to talk about 5 ways, 5 fast ways, and you'll know why I'm using the words fast in a moment. 5 fast ways to jumpstart your transformation, to really jumpstart some movement so you can see it. Because I see so many people out there that they reach out, they call me for help, or I see them posting on social media. I don't see anything happening. Well, often we're so close to it, we don't see the transformation, the growth that we're making. Goal achievement is about the process, is about the journey. You've heard that before. It's about what we become along the way, what we're becoming. But so many people are so close to it, they just don't see their own growth. They don't see the manifestation of all the other things that are moving in that are supportive of the life they want to live. And there's so many of them. Yes, they're focused on the prize. They're focused on the goal, the end game, the pot of gold somewhere over their own rainbow. And we want to do that. We want to live in the energy of the wish fulfilled, the dream fulfilled, whether it's for your business, your corporation, or you as an individual. Yes, indeed. But don't miss along the way what is showing up for you as a result of sustaining the frequency of the dream realized. And that's where our growth comes from, because there's all kinds of little ancillary benefits to remaining focused and driven to achieve the goal that we have set for ourselves. I liken it to, like a little baby. Yeah, somebody has a little baby, they're with that baby all the time. Maybe grandma or auntie or uncle comes over and they see the baby, and then they go away, and uncle and auntie don't come back and visit for maybe another 6 months. Now, mommy and daddy are with the baby all the time, so every day that baby's growing a little bit, but they don't really notice it that much because they're seeing it so gradually through everyday contact. But yet, auntie or uncle come over 6 months later and they're like, oh my God, did this little baby get big? Look at how big he is. And then the mom and dad step back and say, oh, I guess you're right. We just didn't notice it because they're here. They're with a baby every single day. So don't think that things aren't happening if you just are maybe passing them by. I always tell all my clients, notice what you're noticing. Notice what's showing up. This is how we expand our awareness. And expanding our awareness is one of the ancillary benefits. I told you earlier when we got started today that I'd give you five fast ways that you could really jumpstart your transformation. And the five fast ways are through fasting. But don't worry, this isn't about putting down the cupcake or the carbs. This fasting is about something else. Let's dive into it because I'd like to get through at least five of these right now here in this podcast to give you a hand. Because if you start doing these five things, or if you abstain from doing these five things, I guarantee you, you will see a noticeable change in just the way you're showing up every day and the results that you're getting every day because it's our energy flows where our attention goes. So number one is, how about fasting from complaining? Just do that. Just first of all, I want you to commit to these. And if you do decide to commit to these, stick with it for at least 30 days. 30 days if you really want to see a transformation and how you feel in your attitude and what you are attracting into your life. Fast from complaining. Before you do this, you probably need to step back a moment and say, well, do I complain? A lot of people I talk to would tell me, no, I'm not a complainer. I don't complain about anything. And then they proceed to complain about everything under the sun. They complain how nothing works for them. They complain that laws don't pertain to them when it comes to manifestation. They complain about how they feel. They complain about how smart they are or how smart they aren't. And they just, then the list goes on. I've had company come over and use the phone and be on there complaining and taking turns. They're talking to somebody and the one person complains for 5 minutes and the other person complains for 5 minutes and an hour goes by. How much time are you spending complaining? We have become a society that shows up. We greet each other in the grocery store. Hey, how you doing? And then each person takes turn listing their complaints. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but just notice if you're doing it. This is not productive activity, right? You're putting your energy into something that is useless. To quit, just quit and stop and fast for complaining. At least try it for 30 days. Stop complaining about everything under the sun outside of you and within you and about yourself too, right? Number two, fast from judgment and condemnation. Hey, if we're not complaining, maybe we're looking at a situation, a circumstance, maybe a group of people, maybe an individual, and we're passing judgment. I mean, who are we to do that? Who appointed us judge, jury, and executioner in some instances? And that goes hand in hand with complaining. But just refrain from judgment, but also refrain from judging yourself. We are our own harshest critics sometimes, and we judge, and just take a break from that. Just fast from judgment. That's one of the key ingredients of mindfulness. If you were to develop a mindfulness practice, is non-judgment. So obviously there's a benefit to it, to not being judgmental, not being judgmental of your own thoughts, not being judgmental of your own results. You do evaluations so you can course correct and improve along the way, but you don't want to be overly judgmental of yourself or anyone else. How are we doing on time? It's just amazing how fast this time together goes. So I want to thank you for listening in. Let's keep going. Fast from negative thoughts. Almost in every show I tell you, hey, you have 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Now there are some researchers out there that say, oh no, it's way more than that, and some research that say now it's a bit less than that. Either way, you get up over 10,000, that's a lot. I'm not going to sit here and count that many thoughts, but we're having them, and they're just firing on all cylinders. Boom, 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 all day long. And you've often heard me say too that the majority of those thoughts are the same thoughts that we've had the day before, yesterday, and the week before. And most of these thoughts focus on what we don't want. They're either thinking about what we don't want, or thinking about the future, which can lead to anxiety because they're thoughts that are centered around worries and doubts and fears, or it can lead to depression because they're thoughts looking in the rearview mirror, days gone by, and regrets and what we did or we didn't do. So, what we want to do is anything that is just negative, you just want to say, cancel, cancel. I'm not going there. I made a commitment to fasting from negative thoughts, and I'm not moving forward with this thought. So we just don't engage it. We don't engage it. We're going to have them. So don't, rule number 2 takes effect. Don't judge it. Don't judge yourself too harshly because you're fasting from that too. But just say, hey, I'm going to move on from this negative thought. This is identified. I died a, negative thought. I'm passing. I'm not going to engage it. I'm not going to develop it. I'm not going to embellish it. I'm not going to contribute to it. I am not going to give it any of my energy and move on. Number 4, fast from thinking about what you don't have and focus on what you do have through the power of thanksgiving. Gratitude. Gratitude has to be a part of any coaching program, whether it's about health and physical fitness, whether it's diet coaching, whether it's personal professional development, whether it's time and money freedom coaching, relationships, whatever it is. Everyone, every coach, every consultant, every mentor will tell you to put gratitude and a regular practice of gratitude at the very, very top. And really, there's a lot of people that don't do this. They don't fast from thinking about what they don't have, their energy and their focus. And they'll tell you different. They'll tell you, "Oh no, I'm focused on my goal." But every morning they get up and they're down in the mouth a little bit sad, a little bit melancholy, hanging their head a little bit. Why are you hanging your head? What's the matter? It's another brand new day to do what you will, to make it what you will. But if they were to answer you honestly, say, well, I've really put all my effort into this and nothing's showing up. I don't have this and I don't have that and I want to be here and I don't have this in my and on it goes. Right? So the focus, where is the attention and where is the energy flowing? The energy's flowing into what you don't want. So just by the laws that I've talked about in the previous episodes, when you focus that energy and give that energy to what you don't want, more of it will tend to show up in your life. So you don't want to do that. You want to fast from thinking about what you don't want and focus on thanksgiving for what you do have. Focus on the abundance that is yours. All right, number 5, fast from all the negative self talk. And this really goes hand in hand with the negative thoughts, but we separate it a little bit because we're actually engaging in making I am statements when we engage in negative self talk. Let me give you an example, and I don't want to say this too much because I don't want to claim it for myself, but people walk around and whether sometimes it's even out loud, they're saying, "Oh, I am so stupid. Oh, I cannot believe I did that. Oh, I am an idiot. Oh, I am," and you fill in the blanks. Just notice, when do you do this? Do you do this? If you do, stop it. Okay? Stop the negative self talk. Fast from all the negative self talk. You don't have to engage in that. Form affirmative statements that are in alignment with what you do want to show up in your life. And you can combine these. So you can take all these things I'm encouraging you to fast from and flip them around and make affirmative statements all of them. So if you're fasting from complaining, you want to affirm the good that is in your life and that you're experiencing. If you are fasting from judgment and condemnation, you want to engage in affirmative statements that are complementary, or you're being a person of increase to others and to yourself. Hey, I did that really well. It was the first time I tried something like that. I did that really well, and give yourself a pat on the back. If you're fasting from negative thoughts, yes, take that thought. See, one of the laws that we talk about that precedes the law of attraction is the law of polarity. So if it's a negative thought, flip it around. What is its polar opposite? If you have a negative thought, oh my gosh, it's lack and limitation. I am so broke. Say, I'm so happy and grateful that I am rich and abundantly blessed. So you can flip all these around. If you are thinking of, if you want to fast from thinking about what you don't have in your life that you really want, you flip that around too. And you want to make an affirmative statement out of it. And of course, with the negative self talk, you flip it, do the polar opposite. And whatever you catch yourself, if you say, oh man, I am so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Right away, catch yourself, cancel, I am so happy and grateful that I am learning in every moment of every day. And as I learn, I acquire the knowledge I need to successfully complete each task that is in front of me. So here you have it. And we did it. We did it in the amount of time I like to allot for this show. So, 5 fast ways to jumpstart your transformation. One, fast from complaining. Two, fast from judgment and condemnation about your others and about yourself. Three, fast from negative thoughts. Okay. Four, fast from thinking about what you don't have and focus on what you do have through the power of thanksgiving. Be a person of increase. Be a person of increase. That's doing something every day towards others that cross your path, assuring that just because they crossed your path, they feel better about themselves. Can be a compliment, kind word, whatever. Number five, fast from all the negative self talk. Can you do this? Can you make a commitment? You can say, yeah, it sounds good. You can listen to this podcast. You can shut it off. You can go on to something else. But can you, right now, right here, make a commitment? Can you put it in the comments section and say, yes, I make a commitment to doing this for 30 days? And then come back after 30 days and tell me about the transformation it's made in your life. I guarantee you, if you do this, you stick with it. And it's going to take a while, right? Because what we're doing really is forming a new habit. And what we're working to do is eliminating some of the paradigms, eliminating some of the habitual behavior, the habitual thought process that is not supporting the life we would love to live. So you want to do these things. This is contributing to you. And I'm telling you, you want to see some transformation in the workplace? Incorporate this in your small business, incorporate this in your corporate environment. Bring this up when you're talking culture and how do we change the energy in our work environment, whether it's in the C suite team of executives and management supervisors, or just, individuals that are engaging the consumer every day. Apply this. This isn't just airy fairy woo woo feel good when you're at home sitting cross-legged on the floor on your blanket and nobody's around. This is something to apply in your life all day, every day, if you really want to jumpstart transformation and make a quantum leap when it comes to goal achievement. It's about be, do, and have all the time, but it always starts with be. Notice what you're becoming when you incorporate these into your life. That's going to do it for today. We're going to wrap it up. We've used all the time up for this episode. I want to remind you, if you want to talk about this or any of the other topics that I've shared in these podcast episodes, reach out to me. Successappointment.com gets you my calendar. It'll show up in your time zone. Pick a spot. We'll talk about what you want to manifest in your life as an individual, professionally in your small business or in your corporate environment. I also do keynote speaking. I do workshops. I do many, many programs. I do training programs. I have, a variety of things that are available. But the first thing to do is just to have a conversation. These are free for those of you that are listening to my show. Just have a conversation. Just meet each other and talk about what's coming up or what's not coming up in your life that you would like to see made manifest. And hey, reach out. Successappointment.com. There's successocean.com. There's the genesisfrequency.com, the website for this podcast. And if you're somebody that's, hey, you're doing quite well and you're ready to get some exposure, get out there, do some marketing. We added a marketing division as well, lining up with Kevin Harrington, the original Shark, and his team of marketing professionals. So we have shark.successocean.com. We also have a vehicle for you to step into the wonderful world of being an entrepreneur. Find out about that at successocean.biz. Or if you simply want to talk about any and or all of this, successappointment.com. That's my calendar. And this is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kuzmina. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency. I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.